think we're live, Gabriela. I think we are. So hello, everyone, and welcome to day 8 live session with Coach Hélène from The Coolest Journey and Gabriela Herrero, my guest. And my guest and dear friend, Ice Mermaid, Gabriela. I love you. I love having you on my show and on my Coolest Journey podcast. And I'm so happy you're doing this 21-day challenge with me. Gabriela, today is day 8. People have done a full week of cold exposure. The first week was really for the introduction, getting used to it, getting to know what they can use at home, maybe cold packs, bags of frozen peas that are well closed and they won't explode on them. Or maybe they go outside in their backyard or their balcony, which I've done. So there's different ways of getting the cold showers, cold bathtub, a bowl of water with some ice cubes in it, or just holding a glass with cold water, whatever. There's different ways of getting our cold. We talked about that. We had some exercises. We also combined that with some breath work. So congratulations for those of you who are listening and who have done it. This is awesome. Awesome. And now we're starting week 2, which is building momentum. So my video is already up for day 8. And Gabriela, you were just telling me that you already saw it and you saw how many kept behind me. Plane, helicopter, dog, plane. And that's, I'm bringing it up because I think this is what the cold exposure does to us, is that it helps to build our capacity to deal with the unknown throughout our day. And the breath work that we do also helps with recentering ourselves. So I'm talking about this capacity because I don't know if I would have been this easygoing in my video 4 or 5 years ago, right? I think I would have stop and start over again. Stop. And the worst is that there were no planes before I started for a good 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm like, okay, This is perfect timing, and no planes, and then boop, boop. So anyway, what are you finding? I mean, basically, this is what happened to me. I started the cold water practice. For those of you who know my story, I basically eliminated my migraines that way. I'm managing my chronic pain. I'm finding that there's a better spiritual connection. I'm connected with myself, with my environment, and I'm performing better and better every year. So that's basically what I'm finding. Managing my hot flashes much better. It's regulating my hormones, whatever that word is in English. And I'm getting so many benefits out of a cold water practice, and I'm combining it with an anti-inflammatory diet plus energy work. That's why I launched my business, The Coolest Journey, last year, so that I can help impact the lives of over 10,000 people by 2035, using the same methods that I've used. And it's either for people to significantly decrease their physical pain, and it's also for performance and for enjoyment of life and for us to say yes to adventure. And Gabriela, that was a long, but Gabriela, you came here in BC and you experienced some of, I mean, you swim in Lake Ontario all the time, but you experienced some of this, the vegan anti-inflammatory diet, plus the energy work and the cold ocean swimming.
Yes, that's amazing.
I mean, how would you, in a nutshell, summarize all the benefits that it has brought to you?
If we're just talking about what happened on Vancouver, it was I think we talked about it on the live on Friday. It was that I was not sore after climbing a mountain, and my legs were completely fine. Like we said, I still don't know what was it, if it was everything combined, the steam, the sauna, the cold water. I fell, so we can talk about that. I fell and I injured the muscle on my forehand. But I think it's everything. Apart from that, I think some benefit that we haven't talked about is my immune system. I don't get sick. Like colds, Nothing like that. It's amazing. Another thing, I don't know if I build up resistance with Lake Ontario, is my stomach is perfectly fine with the water. It was fine at the ocean, even with my swish for not having anything. And I
Yeah,
think
let's just add something here. You swish the cold water in your mouth so that it helps to alleviate your brain
my
freeze.
brain freeze, yeah, yeah, because I suffer from it every single day. It doesn't matter if I swim every day or not. I suffer from it. Why? I don't know. And I think I'm one in, I would say 10, because I know some people that do. Some people actually, somebody says that they use the big goggles to prevent that. I don't think it has to do with the face. I think it explanation is the palate, right? So when you're drinking water or just putting your face in, yeah, that was a bad one for me.
And apart from that, how about in terms of your day-to-day life? How has the cold water practice? Because you swim almost daily. You've been swimming almost daily since October, November 2020 as well.
Yeah.
So how has that changed your life?
Um, well, I think I'm more resilient to a lot of things. Also, I think I don't know, I feel more at peace, more centered, more, it's a way of connecting with yourself that I could relate it maybe to yoga as well, like some inner peace that comes out or goes in. I don't know. uh,
That's true.
uh, and my immune system, like sometimes I do have headaches as well, and it helps. But sometimes there are certain things that if I have a headache, should I go swimming? Like you, right? Like, should I go?
Yeah.
And then you go, and then you feel much, much, much better.
Yes, yes. The few times I had, well, few times I had a number of migraines between September and December 2020. And Adora my husband would just put me in the car, drive me to the lake, throw me in the water. That's the big joke, and he wouldn't do that, but I gave him permission to do that. And within 30 to 60 seconds, the migraine would go away. I mean, this was completely crazy. And it's like my body could fully relax and knew that this is going to be cold. So bye-bye migraines. It's really weird. But for those people who are doing the 21-day challenge after the first week, they won't necessarily see all these benefits that we're talking about. But they could be feeling some, especially starting today. I'm putting the challenge out there for people to expose themselves to cold a few times during the day, not just once, so that they have a longer exposure to cold, 60 seconds, and then maybe they do 2 or 3 more times, but not the whole body, but maybe just the feet, the hands, the upper body, or however they could do it. And that's really to start to build that practice, and so that they could start to apprivoiser, make
Mm.
make cold their friend. I'm not sure how to translate that. We'll laugh about my professional translator. I
I
should know
doesn't
this.
have to
Oh my goodness. Making cold our friend. Yeah, yeah.
embrace cold.
Yeah, yeah. Embracing cold. So, building momentum. The big question today was about emotions. What emotions does cold bring up in someone? And let me ask you that question. What emotions, plural, does cold bring up in you?
I'm going to say that there are emotions before and there are emotions during and then afterwards. Like every time you go, it's like starting to run. It's like, oh, I don't want to go. I'm tired. No, 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 no. It's too cold. It's too windy. It's too this. And then you get in there. And first, the community as well. When you're with someone, it's easier to go in or more difficult. Because if the other person doesn't want to go in and you kind of don't want to go in, well, okay, let's go have coffee. Except with Hélène. Hélène would go in no matter what. Um,
I know I'm that friend you don't want.
yeah, I like, no, you have to go. But many times it's I today I don't feel good, and instantly you feel better and you go in and you probably swim even twice what you were thinking you were gonna swim. So By now, my brain knows what's gonna feel. So there's no fear. I know it's gonna be cold. I know we even get in and we can say that, oh, I think the temperature is so and so because of how we feel our feet. Now we know, we recognize that at certain degrees, our feet and our legs start tingling. So we know that. So we're more
And the
prepared
hands.
of
Yeah.
on the hands and how it's gonna feel. Now you're gonna see us like we go in and our hands are always up until you're gonna go in, and that's to prevent that we get the claws sooner than we usually do. And then I think we've talked about it. It's a sense of peace. Like it's you, your heart, your thoughts, and you have to be completely aware of how you're feeling. So
And, and, and
then
our and our breath and our breath too,
their
because
breath, yeah, you
we
can feel everything
focus.
happening in your body, the temperature going down, up, how you start feeling your hands. You have to move your hands like you're one with the water and you're one with yourself, like completely immersed in your feelings.
As you're saying this, Gabriela, I want to point out that it's like snapping someone back to the present moment. There's no
Yeah.
past, there's no future. It's just the present moment. It's everything that we feel. And I feel like that is a practice just for that. The cold exposure practice is something that we all need so that we can get out of our head and into our body and part of the environment that we live in, right?
Yeah. And there's something, I don't know if it's just me or everybody, but it becomes kind of an addiction. And it's
Yes.
because of how well you feel after you go swimming or
Yes.
dipping. I suppose dipping is the same thing because you see them coming back every single day also, right? Um, there's the
And,
dreaded coming out and the pain in my hands. But
mm-hmm.
then I know that I go in my car, I'm gonna be warm, and then I'm looking forward for either the steam room, the shower, something nice. But it brings me joy, it brings me happiness.
And I would say, because I know we've swam together, so we share this, a sense of communion with other people around us who are doing the same extreme experience, which becomes a very strong bond. And that sense of communion, that socializing aspect, is something that we really crave in today's society, as we're feeling at times more isolated from one another physically anyway, right? We're all connected virtually, but physically,
Yeah, not that much. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So those are a lot of emotions that you feel.
Yep.
I have,
And
I,
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes if you're swimming with someone that triggers your inner competition, there's a little bit of ego involved.
but
She's swimming longer.
we're usually talking about, I don't know, how fast we can go, but always in a
How
safe
long?
manner. How long, but never putting one person's safety at risk, or your buddy. If you're swimming with one other person, you never want to put your swimming buddy at risk. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
there was a feeling the other day, and it's sometimes you go in thinking I'm gonna be there 5 minutes, and then you say, oh, I can be there seven, or maybe 2 more minutes, maybe 1 more minute, and then you pay the consequences of your of
Yeah.
your
And
feeling good.
and just so people understand, I mean, there are days when the sky is blue, the sun is shining, and it feels so good to have the sun on our skin in the middle of the winter, as we're in the body of water that we were always told, oh no, the water's cold, don't go in there, you're going to die of hypothermia, right? So it feels so good. And yes, we want to stay a little longer, a little longer. We still feel good. We never want to wait until we start to feel the severe symptoms before getting out. We always get out before that. And we'll have a whole other show on when
About
to
it,
get
yeah.
out. Yeah, and not part of this 21-day challenge. It's going to be Coolest Journey podcasting. Um, but if you're at home and you're like, oh, this feels really good, I'm holding on to this cold pack, and slowly but surely I'm feeling better and better. You also have to be aware that if you're holding the cold pack in your hands, you might be burning your skin. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to be concerned, right? Like you want to remove your hands once in a while, make sure you shake them and maybe you put them back on or not and just say, you know what, I feel good. This is good enough. And you put it aside, like what we were just talking about. So in order to keep this call quick today, I know we time. Let's talk about a couple of rewarming strategies for people
Mm-hmm.
at home doing the 21-day cold challenge. What are some of the rewarming strategies that you currently use that you think could be beneficial for those who are doing this cold exposure at home? So not necessarily in Lake Ontario for 10, 20, or 30 minutes.
Well, I've been doing a couple of things like the challenge. Like, for example, today I went into the shower when it was really, really cold here. So the water was cold. And you go in first thing, it was kind of a challenge, but at the same time, it was easier than after the shower going into the cold. But obviously, I had a hot shower afterward. So it was easier to just transition. But my body felt really, really good. Now, when I do it the other way around, then it's just wrapping myself in my towel and it's really nice. But you're not in a sensation of burning or really in a cold exposure. Then today I went with Brioche out, and my dog is Brioche, and we're playing frisbee, and the temperature might be maybe -5, and with his saliva and the ice in my hand, my fingers start to get really cold, really cold, really cold.
Oh, oh.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, they started to hurt, but immediately I just like put them like this together and then cover them with my sleeves for a little bit and start moving them, moving them, moving them, moving them, and then it goes away. But there's a minute that it's like painful and it's like, oh, I don't like this, and you're like that, and these works the and putting the warm
Breath.
steam from your mouth, yeah, it works. But what I've learned all the time, what works is skin contact. So just put it
Mm-hmm.
under your armpits, your arms under
Right.
your hands.
Right. Or even inside your jacket, right? On something inside your whatever. If you're
But
wearing
with
a
your
vest like
skin,
this, it's yeah, skin to skin
yeah,
contact.
skin to skin contact.
There's also these rechargeable USB rechargeable hand warmers, and some of them are they snap together. They're magnetic. I have a pair of that. And actually, I'll put it up on my website, thecoolestjourney.com, as part of the items in the shop area that people can find. There, it's actually quite practical. So if I'm finding it's a particularly windy day, it's windy days that are the worst for me. Windy day, I get stripped of my little heat bubble, and I put that in my hands after the cold swim, and say, okay, I'm back. No, it takes 10 seconds, not even, and that's how it should be. So if people rewarm slowly, right, using
So
maybe a shower, you change from cold to warm, not to hot, you want to do contrast therapy safely so that you're not, playing with your blood pressure and all over the place. But basically it's cold, you put it to warm, not hot. Cold, warm. And then after a while in warm, maybe you want a warmer, that's up to you. But we have to be careful to really,
with how much it's hot, yeah.
yeah, because we've seen it too, right? People losing consciousness. They get out of the water, they bring their head down, poof, they fall, they go unconscious because of the blood pressure changes between the cold water and the environment, and then they bring their head down and they go unconscious. There was one woman who fell unconscious and slit her head on a rock that was right in front of her, and I can't remember how many suture points she required. That was a Shell Park, one
Oh
one
my
of
God.
the groups of dippers, and that was way back 2020, 2021.
I don't
Yeah,
remember that. Maybe I
yeah.
wasn't there.
Well, that story kind of stuck with me. I was not there in person. I heard it there was multiple posts and pictures and warnings about this. So I
Wow.
remember that one quite
Yeah, but that's
graphically.
that's that's a little extreme
Yeah,
at this point. Um,
yeah.
Something else that I discovered is I used not to when you come out. your feet are really, really, really cold. I don't know if you have the same sensation, but it feels like your feet are swollen. So putting my feet on the croc, even the crocs are big. I feel like my feet don't fit on the croc, and I don't like to use things. But then I found these socks that maybe you can put them on your website as well. The mucklucks,
Oh
the
yeah,
I don't
yeah, yeah.
remember the name,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they don't
They're
need to
like
be that brand. But they have like the fleecy, how do you call that? The fleecy,
the polar fleece.
the
The
it looks like sheepskin, but it's fleece, and you put
mhm.
them in, and oh my God, that made such a big difference in my feet.
Sherpa fleece. That's what it's called.
Sherpa fleece, yeah, yeah,
Sherpa
yeah,
fleece. Yeah.
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 Amazing, amazing how
I wish
fast my feet got warmer.
so just so people know, I found online on Amazon, they're called inserts for Crocs and it's Sherpa fleece. And I'm like, yes, I found the solution to my problem. I ordered them and they just left. I returned them yesterday because they don't fit well. They're not cut right. But the idea is good. It's just they're not well executed. So if people find that online, don't get those ones. But I'll definitely source out those Sherpa socks. Yeah.
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 Now people say
So
that immediately you have to cover your head. I, I'm going, I'm going to say I don't cover my head until the very end. I don't put anything on my head. I focus more on warming my core than my head.
I I focus on drawing myself up,
Yeah, first
which
thing.
for people at home and
Yeah, yeah,
if you're
they don't
taking a
need
cold
that right now.
shower, then but drying myself, get out of the wet bathing suit as fast as possible. Put some dry, warm clothes on, which could be something that you want to do at home as well. You just expose yourself, cover yourself in something that is not cotton, something that's not going to retain the moisture, but something that's going to keep it away from your skin. And yeah, and walk around vacuuming. Number one activity to rewarm. We were joking that pretty much all cold water swimmers have clean homes from vacuuming after swimming. So
But that's
it's
because of the sand.
well that too. We have sand and crud and whatever. But if you just do some type of light housework like that, it's enough to get the blood moving, and that's a great way to warm up. Hmm. Yeah, the
Drink
sauna is
something warm. Drink
yeah.
something warm.
And
Yeah.
hold something warm in the hands as well, but not too hot, especially if you've done the cold therapy holding a pack of ice in your hands. You don't want to go that cold, that hot right away. Don't want to destroy your hands. Your hands are precious. Your
Yeah.
feet
And the
too.
feet too. The feet too.
And the feet are very precious as well. And apart from that, mm, I would say if people are still cold after 10, 15, 20 minutes of doing the cold exposure at home, or they're outside, they go to a park and they cold expose themselves, then maybe, pile up a couple of more blankets and move. Just don't sit and wait. That's the worst thing that you can do.
And it's normal to shiver. Shiver is the response of the body to get warm. So don't worry about the shivering. It's normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And the body has to warm up. And apart from that, I think that's going to be it. So this week is about building the momentum. This is day 8. We are going to be back live, Gabriela, on day 12
Friday.
on Friday. So today is day 8. Friday is day 12, and we're going to have a couple of interesting conversations as well. So for those of you watching, make sure you tune in, and if you have questions, send them in. We'll be happy to answer them. So apart from that, enjoy the rest of the challenge this week, and bon courage tout le monde.